So if you'll observe here, Kepler's third law will says that, understanding the mean distance from the planet to the sun means you have to do the cube root of, understanding, cube of the mean distance between the sun and the planet. Sun and the planet is directly proportional to the square of the time it will takes to move around the sun. So this is what we should call it as R cube is directly proportional to what? Directly proportional to what, guys? R cube is directly proportional to
square.
So as we know in mathematics, I want to remove the proportionality. What I have to do? I have to bring some constant. Yes or no? That is what. Now, we can say R cube divided by T square, which is equals to what? R cube divided by T square, which is equal to what? T square. This is what we should call it as. What we should call? Kepler's third law.
Kepler's third law of planetary motion.
R indicate what here? R indicate what? Mean distance from the planet from the sun. Mean distance of planet from the sun. T means what? Time period of the planet, which is taken around the sun. How much time it is taking to revolve around the sun? That is called as time period. Understand, guys? Understand? So this is what the Kepler's third law. But if you'll observe, though the Kepler's gave the law of planetary motion, but he could not give a theory to explain the motion of the planets. He is unable to explain theoretically. Do you understand, guys? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So later, Newton, the person who shows the cause of the motion of the planets, that is what? What is the motion of the planets cause? Behind what? What is the reason behind motion of the planets around the sun? Gravitational force. So later, the scientist name called as Newton, who has been proved that the motion of the planets is the gravitational force, which is the who is exerting? Sun exerting.
Sun is exerting to the planet.
So Newton actually used this Kepler's third law of planetary motion to develop a law called as which law? Universal law of gravitation. This Kepler only guessing, no kind of theoretical proof or explanation. Purinjicha, everybody respond me. No kind of explanation. He has been proved, but his predictions become true or false? His predictions become true. Do you understand, Ram? His prediction become true. He set some laws, and that with the help of that laws only, the well-known law to the universe. What is that law called as? Universal law of gravitation. So, who has been developed? Newton developed with the help of which law? Kepler's third law only. Understand? So let us see. With the help of Kepler's third law of planetary motion, understanding, Newton used this law to develop a universal law of gravitation. That is what we should call as inverse square rule. What is that? Inverse square rule. So now, before going to discuss the inverse square rule, please all of you write Kepler's third law. What is Kepler's third law? Right. The cube of the mean distance, mean distance means what, Ramanish? The distance between the planet and the sun. What is that?
Sun.
Distance between the planet and the sun. What is the time? Time is what? The time period to take revolve around the sun of a planet. For example, Earth you take. What is the time period of Earth to revolve around the sun?
365 days.
No, that is what we can say 1 year. So that is called as time period. Is it okay, Ra? Like planets, it will be having different time period. So right, the cube root of, the cube of the mean distance of a planet, the cube of the, Alana understand Laksha? The cube of the mean distance of a planet from the sun. The cube of the mean distance of a planet. Manya and Samya understand? Okay. the cube of the mean distance of a planet from the sun is directly proportional to the what, Maitreyan? Is directly proportional to the what? Square of time it takes to move around the sun. Square of time it takes to move around the sun. That is what we should call it as Kepler's third law of planetary motion. So after that, what you should write?
Square of time.
R cube is directly proportional to T square. R cube, which is equals to constant into T square. So R cube by T square, which is equals to what, guys? R cube by T square, which is equals to what? Constant. Understand? This is what we should call it as Kepler's third law. Okay. So now
Or
R
after square of time, what, sir?
R is equals to what? You have to respond me. R is equals to what? R is equals to mean distance present between what? Mean distance present between what? Okay, Manya. Mean distance, R means what, man? Mean distance of planet from the sun. Okay? Mean distance. Mean distance from planet.
From the planet and the sun.
Planet to the sun. Next. What is the Tira? Time period of the planet.
Time period.
Time period of the planet.
Time period of the planet. Any doubt in Kepler's three laws? Anybody? Monish, Pradosh?
No, sir.
Now that is Elmukil, Tamil Selvan, clear, Darun? This is what the three
Yes,
laws.
sir.
But what is happening? Kepler's fails in what? Kepler's fails in giving the theoretical explanation. Understand, guys? Proof we want. Yes or no? So proof we
Yes,
want.
sir.
So that proof is unable to given by the who's Kepler. So that is why later who has been used as Newton used
Newton has.
Newton.
Kepler's laws to derive the equation of what? Planetary motion. Understand? Universal law of gravitation. So that is what we can see. How did Newton guess? It is not true, he guessed only. His guess become reality. Do you understand, guys? Like sometimes our predictions become true. Is it yes or no? Same way.
Yes, sir.
Same way. I don't know how these people born in the 16th to 17th century. For example, we will take Mendeleev's. He is a periodic table. He is the father of periodic table, modern periodic table. He also said the same like Pendon. He used to guess. Whatever he guessed is became true later. Do you understand, Rutherford? Whatever he guessed became true later. Understand, Ra? I don't know how their predictions become true, but we can predict means it is not becoming true. Yes or no? Yes.
Sir.
But their predictions, how that imagination will be, the same thing. This Kepler also same thing. With the help of Kepler's already one prediction and Newton's again he made prediction. That is what? Guessing, inverse square rule. That is only become what? Today's present situation of where we are using the universal law of gravitation. I have taught you all the applications of universal law of gravitation. Have you remembered? Wherever we are using, it is helping in discovering in new planets, new stars, as well as determining the mass of the sun, mass of the earth and the other moon accurately, and as well as it will give you what? It will give you the motion of the planets around the sun and as well as satellites around the planets. Yes or no, guys? These all the things
Yes,
we
sir.
can with the help of Newton's law of gravitation. Understanding? Sorry. Yes. Newton's universal law of gravitation, or else Newton's law of gravitation. So, but it has been not proved. It has been just guessed. Correct or not? So, right. How did Newton guess the inverse square rule? Please keep heading. How did Newton guess inverse square rule? Do you understand, Ra? How did Newton guess inverse square rule? Please, all of you remember this. So, the statement made by the Newton in his universal law of gravitation. So, universal law of gravitation formula, can you able to say anybody? What is the statement he has been made? Formula, universal law of gravitation. F is equals to what, guys? Please respond me.
G into M1 into M2 by R square.
M2 divided by R
M2
square.
divided by R
Or
square.
we can
Square.
say F is equals to G into capital M into small m divided by R square. Your choice. Okay, guys. Now, observe very carefully. I don't want G. I don't want masses. Now, what is the relationship between force and mean distance between the centers? What is the, both are inversely proportional.
Inversely proportional.
Is it yes or no? So the force of attraction is inversely proportional to square of the distance between them. Is it yes or no, guys? Is it yes or no,
Yes,
guys?
sir.
Respond me. So the force between two bodies is inversely proportional to the square of distance between them. This is only called as, what we should call? Inverse square rule. What we should call, guys? What we should call
Inverse
this
square
one?
rule.
Inverse square rule.
Is it a difficult thing? Inverse square rule. But how he gets it? Let us discuss. This is only we should call it as inverse square rule, because the force of attraction, how Ramavanish? Force of attraction is inversely proportional to understanding square of distance between the objects. Is it yes or no, guys? Please respond me.
Yes,
That is
sir.
what we have learned from the formula of this universal law of gravitation. What is that? Universal law of
Universal
gravitation.
law of gravitation.
Anybody till here? Laksha, Tamil Selvan, respond means it is good. So F is directly proportional to 1 by R square. Understand, brothers? Now, Newton got the idea of this inverse square rule for gravitational force between two bodies by applying which law? Which law? Kepler's third law. Which law? Kepler's third law.
Kepler's third law.
Orbit of a planet around the sun. So, the important assumption made for his purpose is that orbit of a planet around the sun. Actually, Kepler said that what is the position? What is the planet position, that is circular or orbit, elliptical shape?
Elliptical.
Elliptical shape. Yes or no? But Newton assumed that for his main purpose is that orbit of a planet around the sun. He has been made an assumption. What is that important assumption of Newton's? He has been assumed as circular motion. What is that? Circular motion.
Circular
To
motion.
derive this inverse square rule, Newton's main assumption, major assumption or important assumption. What is that? Important assumption is he has been assumed that, very important assumption is that he made for his purpose, not for that. For his purpose, he has been assumed that the orbit of the planet around the sun is what? For his assumption,
Circular path.
for understanding, he has made the orbit is in circular path. Do you understand, Tamil Selvan? He has assumed this one. This is his major assumption for his understanding, for his calculations, for his like what we can say, for his purpose he has been made this. Now, Newton derived the inverse square rule for gravitational force. How he has been derived? So let us discuss now. So consider a planet of mass m. What is that, guys? Planet of mass.
M.
So consider how he has been done. Observe very carefully. Consider a planet of mass m. Planet of mass m moving with a which velocity? Now it is circular shape. Which velocity? Moving with a
Constant velocity.
uniform speed or variable speed? With a
Uniform speed.
v around. Is it yes or no? Mass m with a velocity velocity v around the sun. Velocity or speed, your choice. With a velocity v around the sun.
Around the sun.
Which orbit? Circular orbit. Understanding,
Circular
Ra?
orbit.
Circular orbit. Understanding, guys? Circular orbit. So circular orbit, which is having radius is same or variable, Ra? Elmokil? Radius is constant.
Same, sir.
Radius is constant. Circular orbit of radius r. So now you understand why he has assumed as a circular path. Do you understand, guys? Do you understand, guys?
Yes, sir.
Elliptical means what? Radius is not constant. Correct or not? That is why he has been assumed as circular path. Understanding? Now, as I said, some force is acting between the sun and the planet. What is that force called as? It is from the center of the sun. That is why that is called as. What we should call?
Gravitational force.
Centripetal force. What we should call? Centripetal force.
Centripetal force.
Centripetal force F are acting on the orbiting planet. Centripetal force A centripetal force, F, a centripetal force acting on what, guys? Acting on orbiting planet. What is that? Orbiting planet.
Orbiting planet.
Orbiting, O-R-B-I-T-N-G, orbiting planet will gives you, sir, how to calculate this force? Orbiting planet, F will gives you, remember, mass of the planet into, what is that? Force. What is the, how much force? What is the centripetal force? Means that formula, understanding how much centripetal force is acting by the sun and the earth, like that, how to calculate means, the force, F means what here, guys? What is this F means? F is equals to what? F is equal to force. Understanding force is equals to, it has been calculated that mass into velocity square divided by radius of the circular path. What is that? Radius of the circular
path.
Consider a planet of mass m moving around the sun with a velocity v or speed v, and if the force is acting, centripetal force is acting on orbiting planet, then the centripetal force F is equals to mass of the planet into velocity square divided by radius of the orbit. What is that? Radius of the orbit. So you can see here, always mass of the given planet is constant. Is it yes or no? Mass of the given planet is constant. So now, in mathematics you can see, if you want to remove the proportionality, what we are doing? We are taking some equals to constant. Correct? Now, as we know, mass is constant. Now let me imagine mass is equals to constant. So force is equals to constant into, what is that there? Tell me, Elmokil. V square by R. Equals to constant. We can replace with what, guys? Equals to constant. We can replace with what? Proportionality sign. What is that? Proportionality sign. V square by R. This is what the, let me imagine, this is the equation 1. So centripetal force is directly proportional to square of the speed divided by radius of the orbital, correct or not? Orbital path. Will you accept it, guys? Please respond.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
You know that when the object is revolving in a circular path, what is the speed formula? Anybody from the first chapter? What is the speed formula?
Equal to distance by time.
Hey, from the first chapter, circular path, man, circular motion. Simply
2 pi r by time.
what? Distance by time. Circular motion.
2 pi r, sir.
Sir, 2 pi r by t.
2 pi r
2 pi r by time.
No. As we know,
Sir, 2 pi r by t.
yeah,
2 pi r, sir.
when object is in circular motion. So what is the speed formula, Tamil Servan? Speed is equals to 2 pi
r by time.
by
time.
Your time period is t. Okay, guys, 2 pi r by time. So what is 2 pi r? To complete one revolution. What is that? To complete one revolution. Yes, area of the circle. Understanding the area of the circle is equals to 2 pi r around the sun, and the velocity is v. So v is equals to what, guys? V is equals to what? 2 pi r.
2 pi r by time.
Here something is constant. In this equation, something is constant. What is that found? Everybody?
2 pi, sir.
2 pi.
Pi is constant. So as we know, V is equals to 2 pi is equals to constant. What is that? 2 pi is equals to constant. Understand that? 2 pi is equals to constant. V by T. Now, proportionality constant. How I can write Tamil Selvan? V is directly proportional to
Directly proportional to V by T, sir.
R by T.
R by T, sir.
R by
R by
T.
T.
Not V. R by T. Is it yes or no, guys?
Yes, sir.
That is R by T. Clear? Till here, any doubt?
Yes. No, sir.
Okay.
Sir.
So observe very carefully. That is what. So R by T. Understand, Ra? So now let us imagine. Observe very carefully. V directly proportional to R by T. Any doubt till here, Maunesh? Now, all of you square on both the sides. What will happen? Why, sir? Why are you squaring means? First equation, what is there? Check it. First equation, what is there? V R V square. We have V R V square. Square. That is why I am
Square, sir.
squaring on both the sides. What is that? Squaring on
Squaring on both the
both
sides.
the sides. Remember that. Squaring on both the sides. What will become? You speak. V square is directly proportional to R square by T square. Is it yes or no, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
or no?
sir.
That is. Now,
Sir.
observe very carefully. Now, both the sides, you please, all of you see, both the sides, you try to multiply as well as divide with the relation by R. So if you multiply as well as divide the right side of this relation by R, then what will happen, guys? Can you able to say? Only right side. This is called as right side. This is called as right side. Understanding? And this is called as left side. Now, at a time, so in mathematics we know that suppose I have a 2 by 3, both the sides at a time I can do numerous, some any number 2 by 2 I will multiply and I will divide, again same thing will come. Is it yes or no, guys? Yes or no?
Sir.
Now, like same way here on the right side, I am multiplying and dividing at a time I am understand multiply right side. Understand? Multiplied and divide right side with R. What is that? With what, Ra? With R. Then what will
R.
happen? What will happen? You tell me. V square directly proportional to R square by T square into R divided by R. Is it yes or no? Into R divided by R. Correct, Ra? Now,
Yes, sir.
V square is directly proportional to R square into R. How much, Ra, Pradosh?
R cube, R cube.
R cube. Yes or no?
Sir.
R square into R cube. R cube divided by T square into 1 by R. Into what? Into 1 by R. Yes or no? Respond me, everybody.
Sir.
Into
Yes, sir.
1 by R. Now, observe very carefully from the Kepler's third law, R cube by T square, which is equals to what, guys? From the Kepler's third law, R cube by T square is equals to what? R cube by T square, which is equals to what, guys?
Constant.
Ninja, now you understand why I have multiplied and divided with R? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
That is what? From Kepler's third law. What is that? Kepler's third law. Kepler's third law. R cube divided by T square, which is equals to what, guys? Constant. What is
Constant.
constant? So, equation will become what, Ra? V square is equals to what? V square. V directly proportional to 1 by R. Yes or no? This will become what?
Sir.
Constant. So, V
Constant,
square
sir.
directly proportional to 1 by R. Is it yes or no? Till here, any doubt?
Sir.
Now,
No, sir.
put, as we know now, you understand. V square in place of V square, what I can keep, guys? In place of V square, what I can keep? 1 by R. Is it yes or no? That is the meaning of it.
Yes, sir.
Actually, this is constant, correct? So constant and proportionality will go means who is remaining? Equals to sign. So in place of V square, can I keep 1 by R? Please respond me.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So let me imagine this is the equation 2. Now substitute equation 2 in equation 1. What is equation 1? Check it. What is equation 1? What is
Sir,
equation
force
Directly
proportionality V square minus R.
Substitute equation 2 in equation 1. So equation 1 is what, Ra? F is directly proportional to V square by R. Okay. Now V square means what, Ra? V square means what? R. 1 by R. 1 by R by R, which is equals to what, guys? 1 by R into 1 by R. Is it yes or no? Please respond.
Sir.
1 by
R
square.
square.
This is what? What is this called as? Inverse square rule. This is what the Newton's guessed. Is it yes or no, guys? He has guessed only. Okay. The gravitational force between the sun and a planet is inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them. And this conclusion is given by whose, guys? It is helped by who? Kepler's third law of planetary motion. And which helped what? Who helped this? Newton. Understanding? This is only helping the Newtons to form what? To formulate the universal law of gravitation. Understand, Ra? Understand?
Sir.
Yes, sir.
What we should call as F is directly proportional to 1 by R square. This is what we should call as inverse square rule. Understand, Manya, Samaya, Sai, Alana, Darun? Inverse square rule. Very, very clear, slowly, clearly you have to understand. Any doubt means you have to ask me. Very clear? Doubt?
Yes, sir.
Okay. This is to calculate the centripetal force. This is the formula. This is you should remember. Okay, guys? That's
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
today's class. I
Sir,
hope
will you send this in
so,
group, sir?
yeah, I will send it. So, but everybody should learn. Practice this very carefully. Okay, guys? Okay, now
Yes, sir.
centripetal.
Sir.
Okay. So that is everybody should calculate and you have to learn very carefully. Centripetal force. What is the formula? What is the centripetal force formula? Mass into
Sir, mass
velocity
into
Mass into
velocity
velocity
square
square
by
by
time.
R.
radius of the path, radius of the circle. That is called as centripetal force formula. Okay, guys? Okay, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
that is you should remember.
Yeah.
So this I will stop the today's class. I hope you all understand very well. That is, you all understand the inverse square rule, Elmo-Kill nicely, clearly.
Yes, sir.
Very
Yes,
good.
sir.
Sir.
Thank you so much, everybody. Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for this.
You can leave. Thank you so much.